You're going to be in position, if you're new, this is called close guard. So the aim is to wrap your legs around your partner and your feet are intertwined like this. We're going to go into more detail about this position today, but for now what you're going to do is cut around the head and neck of your partner, and ideally one or both of his arms should be somehow covered with your elbows like this, rather than like this, the skinny hole. We're trying to cover as much of this top half as possible. It's very hard muscle because he's so henge. I can't really cover much, but you do your best. You do your best, right? And ideally, cupping both hands around the neck. And when you do this, your partner will find it quite hard to posture back up. By posture, we talk about this being good posture. So without straining muscles, just find the path of least resistance to get back up. So if you're trying to walk your way up, it should make it a little difficult, but you will eventually find a way to get back up, and we start again. Now when you do this 3 times, swap around, and then you do it 3 times to make it sexual. And you keep going until I say time. Yes? Yes. And we do a clap thing. 1, 2, 3. So you find a partner. I'm going to ask you to make a couple of small adjustments. Amir, if I can do you. So you do the same thing. By now you've got used to the close guard. You've never done this position before. Okay? We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to reach for our partners next. But this time I want you to focus on 2 things. The first thing I want to focus on what you're doing with your legs. Most of you, even some of the more experienced ones, are holding here, and it's just arm strength against upper body strength. So Amir finally uses his arms to crawl back up, put them hands, he'll find a way out. What we want to use is incorporate a stronger part of the body, and that's where the legs come in. So I want you to do this and bring your legs up high, really high. So you see where the intersection point is? It's up the shoulders rather than down here. Down here they're serving no purpose other than to just keep them enclosed within my guard. Up here, they're adding weight. You can actually feel that weight on you. Even less alone, if Amir pushes up, it's quite hard, right? That's number 1, legs high. If you find that your dexterity won't allow you to get higher up, it's perfectly fine to just do this and squeeze the knees, although you won't get the added weight of your down pressure here. Ideally, if you can do that, that's best. Maybe like that, or even that worst case scenario here is better than down here. This is serving no purpose. Here, this is serving a purpose when it comes to this posture. Right. The next thing I want you to do is when you're holding here, I want you to twist his head slightly. Don't do it like in a Kung Fu movie or a Bond movie, please. Pussy galore. Okay? We're just gently rotating his head so that his cheek is flush to the chest, then we hold. Now ask your partner to come up from here. It's a different thing. Just compared to this, which was the first drill. Just come up. He will be able to use his strength against yours. So just to repeat, I want you to do the same thing. We're going to start from the first version. Walk your legs up higher, so the weight now bears across his shoulder blades. Next thing is I want you to just rotate his chin so that his head is turned. It's like you're doing the neck twisting, but don't do the neck twisting. Just gently, I'm not hurting you doing this, am I? Then secure it in place to your chest, like this. Now ask your partner to posture up again, and then you'll find it's a different kettle of fish. 2 very, very simple minor adjustments that will transform the way you do the close guard. Okay? 1, 2, 3. What saves me is always remembering the self-defense roots of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Close guard was developed by, well, it was used probably in early Jiu-Jitsu in Japan, then to Jiu-Jitsu, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu kind of made it their own, if you like. So the story goes, the narrative goes that it's great for self-defense. Why would this be good for self-defense? Because of that, for example, that thing that we're doing, it's very hard to punch me from here, isn't it? When you're from here. When you're released, I'm in perfect punching distance. Okay. By the way, when I say self-defense, what the Gracies actually did was pick fights with people a little bit smaller than themselves, who were trained in not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they got me going. They didn't know what they're doing. This is before years. Okay, so really true history. It's a little bit more, not as clean cut as the narrative suggests. Anyway. What we're going to do is work on look at the self-defense aspects, of the street fighting aspects of it, not that much street fighting, but it's precisely. So we've already looked at what a lot of people refer to as phase one, the very close distance here, and you can even open your legs up like this, because we're trying to take all our grappling part of it, the control part, on the top part. That's what I'm really worried about. I'm not worried about his legs, I'm not worried about his standing up. I mean, he could potentially stand up from here, but the most important thing is I don't want to get punched or strangled from here. We're holding from here. If one arm gets free, then he's in, obviously, striking distance, so we have to kind of fill that space with our knee there. When you put your knee there, you might as well put that arm there. And now that arm is redundant in terms of, and I'm still fulfilling the duties of keeping everything at the top half, pulling his head down so he can't headbutt me and do all sort of thing. Okay? And if the other arm comes free, ready to grab me, and then you do that. And now we're in sort of this weird position where Emma moves away in this weird baby position. But it's the self-defense. You learn a lot of things from it, which I'll discuss later on in terms of framing, hooks, all that sort of thing we'll talk about later. And these are common references that are used in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But for now, we're going to do this. You're in this sort of position that we just did. He takes one arm to punch you, you grab it, you hold it there. They can't punch you anymore, or strangle you, or grab you, or scratch you. He takes the other arm out, he does the same, and you can just put this here. And guess what? From here, we will later on learn all sorts of nice cool techniques, like triangle, and there's arm bars and arm passes. But you can only do that when you've broken their posture. This particular exercise is focused on as if my opponent could strike me. As you know, we don't do strikes in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so you mustn't forget the self-defense routes. Block here, last thing, punch me, block here, punch me here. And it's actually nice also to get a little angle here. The angles are very important in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Anyone want to see that again? Or are you happy with that very, very simple thing? Basically just end up like a baby. Okay, try 1, 2, 1, let me show you. Yes, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, I suppose it doesn't matter where you sit, but if I do it here, most of you will see it from, or the evil nemesis, Marcel. Always want to punch you in the face. Okay, so we've done this thing here where we know how to manipulate the neck just to get what we want, a little bit higher, and because my knees are in contact here, and once he moves his arm to punch, I've already done it up here. Okay, that's not going anywhere. And then the second arm comes in. Okay, generally, people don't sit here forever. Because I've only got this one hook now, he will posture up, and that's where you use this more long-range version of the guard. Okay, so from here, your opponent's still trying to strike you, so you can get up on your feet, whatever you want to, just try to get up. And this is where I'm curling my insteps around his waist here. And this introduces you to the concept of hooks. When we say hooks, we're not like Captain Hook. We're using the instep of our feet to curl around. Later on, we'll teach you hooks where they go inside and they go outside, they go underneath, they go around the neck. All these are very useful little things that you learn in Jiu-Jitsu. Actually, we're going to stay on this for this one. So from here, we're going to get our hooks in, and we're going to raise our hips, we're going to extend our femur bone, so there's a barrier. Now we're learning about the concept of frames. You'll hear me say frames a lot. I'm calling it a frame, which is a skeletal structure to stop here. Marcel's, although a very talented man, but he's really done, and he's going to still try to punch me from here. You can see the distance involved. All right. Now, what he's going to do is going to remove my knees and push them to one side, and I keep the hooks there. If I didn't have my hooks and they push my knees to one side, and then I'm in trouble. So this exercise, we're going to start from here. Then he punches you, block, he punches you, block, and then he pushes up. Knees come in front, he brings the knees out of the way. Keep the hooks in there, get back into place, back into place. Okay, all the while you're remaining punch free, and this is really good for people wearing glasses because my glasses are damaged so far. Happy with that? Okay, ready to go? 1, 2, 3. Translate some of these into Jiu-Jitsu skills, right? Borrow it myself here. So we're at this 5 distance away, and Marcel's decided to lean in because he perhaps doesn't quite understand the role that he has to play as passing the guard. By the way, this anything where you're involving your legs to prevent him passing your hips, we refer to as the guard. When he has passed my hips, as he has passed my guard. So anything can be the guard. This is a guard. This is a guard. This is a guard. This is a guard. This is not a guard. Then he's passed my hips. Okay, he didn't even have to do anything. So anyway, we'll discuss later. So we're here right now, and he's leaning in. What I want you to do is cup his neck, cup his wrist, turn on your side. Being on your side, as long as you're using what we call again the frame, my shin bone, you felt the frame in your chest there, is a good thing. Without the frame, i.e. there's nothing there, you just collapse on me, and you pass round, now it's part of my guard. That's not a good use of the frame. We're going to get used to using the frame. Nice concept for him. So here is a frame where we're keeping him away from him. If he leans in so much, I have access to his neck, I'm holding his wrist, or cutting around his tricep, or if you want, you can grab the sleeves. I'm trying to avoid sleeve grabs just for today so we get prepared for maybe one thing. Grabbing, now turn on my side. I keep my frame in place. Muscle can feel that there's still a structure here. Okay? And he still continues to lean in. I let him lean in, and I bring him over, and then we're here in what we call mount position, which is a superior position for fighting. Okay, so same thing again. I'm going to start from this. And he's going to come in, I'm going to cut around here, I'm going to turn around. Now look at this bottom leg, this serves a purpose. Okay, I'll talk about this later on, that will be now. But for now, what we're going to do is this scissor our legs. This one goes, this foot goes that way, this goes that direction, again, opposite direction. It's very important you isolate this arm, because if I do this without his arm, with his arm there, he just puts his arm there, and he just so if I can find a way to stop him, and then turn him over. Final thing, is this sweep, like a lot of sweeps, are not predicated on the strength of your legs. If I just use leg strength alone, it's going to be very hard. It's on where I am in relation to his. If I get as underneath the centre of gravity as possible, the more successful I am in the sweep. So, not only am I cupping around the neck, and here I'm pulling him in, and then you'll find the sweep. I wouldn't say effortless, but much better. And in fact, a lot of sweeps are like this. For example, just for illustration purposes, if you stood up and you're leaning on me, if I tried to lift you up from here, it'd be very hard. Whereas if I brought you in and I was underneath your centre of gravity, I could lift you and do very spectacular helicopter arm bars. Give it my back. It's going to go spectacularly wrong. I'm not even going to try that out. Okay, so a reminder of the drill. We're going to start from here. We're not going to start from there. We're only going to start from here. He's leaning in. You grab, arm, neck, turn your side, keep the frame integral. The bottom foot goes on the ground. You bring him in. This is your leg, and then we're here. Establish top mount. Everyone got that? Yeah. Work with your partner and watch your space, most important. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Again. So this time we're going back to our sort of very tight, self-defense-y closed guard here. I'm not even closing guard. He's not punching me, but he's posturing up. Trying to posture up. And I'm best will in the world, I'm trying my best, but he's found a way to sit up and he's really far away from me now. This presents a problem because, let's eliminate the idea of strikes. I want to do jiu-jitsu against him, I need to grab him, I need to do things with jiu-jitsu. Even when his back is very vertical, even closing my guard here, doesn't really control him until he starts moving. But let's not talk about that today. He just, it's like a shot mannequin. He's just there, not doing anything. And I want to try and do things. I can't armbar him from here. There's no arm. I can't triangle him from here. Okay, I can't omoplata him from here. I can't even do that scissor sweep. Just stay where you are. And he's not even doing it. You're not even doing anything, are you? What we can do is open up, sit up, and hit up. I'm going to describe that technique in detail because every part of it is important. I've seen too many people do this and they cut out a few things and they think, oh, it don't work. Alright. So the first thing, I need to open my closed guard. This introduces the concept that the closed guard is not the be-all and end-all of jiu-jitsu. It's a very nice guard to use, but you must, at a very early stage, get used to opening the guard, closing the guard, being able to use your knees and frames, etc. The second thing is, I need to sit up. Don't just sit up like this, because you're just pushing me down. You need to sit up with framing. Here. He pushes me down. Okay? And later on this will become this. Alright, so a lot of stages to this, very seemingly simple technique. So let's recap. Open the guard, feet to the floor. Elbow, then hand. Reach over his shoulder. Your hip now takes on most of the work. Say most of, because it's not just punching in with your hips, you have to turn. Turning like this, like a spinning top. Rotate. Notice what I'm doing with the other arm here, trapping it. For now, let's not worry about why, but just make sure you do this. Let's change the angle so everyone can see. So if you want to simulate it for real, you try to hold him down, he sits really bolt upright. open, hand, up, capture the arm, and you twist here. And then guess where we are? We're back in this mount position, which is a good position to be in for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. One more time. Open, feet on the floor, elbow, hand. Notice what I do here as well. It's kind of like a little mini frame. Yeah. And then we're here. And that's the speed I want to do it at. Later on we'll get much faster. We'll throw this on as a surprise and then we'll definitely be sweating. Everyone happy with that? 1, 2, 3, let's go.